Hey guys, this is Christian and
Richard.
Today we're going to be discussing a ton of the games presented at E3 this year. We've got a ton of stuff we want to talk about today, but we're going to be going over the bulk of it all, starting today with the EA presentation. All right, let's hit this off with Madden 18.
Boo.
Yeah, story mode Madden?
More like Sadden.
It kind of looked like it was going to have like a real story.
Okay, the thing with this is it's trying to do like what is it? FIFA, I think, did something like this, and maybe it was the last Madden 2, maybe it was a basketball game. I don't exactly remember, but there was a story mode where I think it was basketball, where you built yourself up from and like made all these story decisions on whether or not you were going to follow this guy or go with this team and do this thing and make these decisions, like kick your friend Skeeter out of the house or whatever.
What?
I specifically remember. I think it was the last basketball one or something like that, and I think EA is doing kind of the same thing, where they're doing it in football instead, so you can get that sweet football action.
American football specifically.
Thomas, play an American football track.
Okay.
The fact that it looks almost photorealistic now is crazy.
Yeah, fully rendered sweat beads is a note I made here.
You're never going to see it because, unless it's like the collisions and you do like that slowdown effect, but like you're never going to see it.
I'm going to be playing it on my grandfather's television from the 1950s, right? So
I didn't know that you owned a current generation console that's not the Switch. hit the next one. All
right. Next one is Battlefield 1, which is a game I don't care about.
This is more DLC, right?
Yeah, more maps and more I guess people.
It's more stuff that you paid for, I guess.
So if you're into war and shooting and
the Battlefield series and the Call of Duty series are kind of like real close in that aspect, where you get that, oh hey, I'm gonna go and pay the money for the extra map packs, the extra weapon things that come with it, the bonus XP or the skins or whatever it is. I don't know what the bonuses that come with the DLC packs.
Yeah.
But it's the extra stuff that comes out that's like, hey, we got like 2 more map packs for $50.
And the difference between Call of Duty and Battlefield to me is so small, but there's some people that think it's
actually
really
big. Call of Duty is more of a Twitch shooter, where Battlefield in general it's not more team-based or squad-based, and it is still kind of a Twitch shooter, but there's a lot more, I guess, planning that goes with some of it. I enjoyed, when I played demos and stuff of the two of them, I enjoyed Battlefield more with my team than I did when I played Call of Duty.
It's strategic, right?
In a way it is.
Okay, or tactical, I guess is the better word.
You have no real interaction unless you're on microphone, but then the two games are identical in that way. But it feels different.
Okay, so maybe this DLC stuff is good then.
Might be.
I'll have to see.
Yes.
Next we have FIFA 18, soccer, like you've always seen it.
Did you hear anything about the Switch version of FIFA 18?
I think I made a note of that.
Okay,
I did not.
We can get into that later if you didn't.
But yeah, I guess it's coming out on the Switch?
Well, not exactly FIFA 18. So, you get the Ronaldo legacy, which is like Cristiano Ronaldo and
oh boy.
What is his goddamn name?
Zinedine Zidane.
No.
That would be interesting.
No, one of the biggest players out on right now, Ronaldo. No, it's Cristiano Ronaldo that's a new player, and there's an old guy, Ronaldo something, and you get him. But there's that, and there's going to be that soccer, and then there's going to be a completely separate FIFA game for the Switch, and EA is going to be like, oh, we had to dumb it down and remove some of this stuff and make it different, which is why it's like EA Sports Soccer on Switch compared to FIFA 18.
Oh,
it's going to be different, but the same because it's soccer.
I'm actually a fan of soccer. Like, I like the sport because my grandfather got me into it. So there's that.
Let's go Man U and Real Madrid.
Yeah, okay. I'll play Italians.
Good. Next
up is Need for Speed Payback, or Fast and the Furious, the movie, the game.
Which is separate from the Fast and the Furious game made by Need for Speed.
Yeah, I mean, watching the trailer, I was just like, this is exactly like the last Fast and the Furious movie that just came out.
Yeah, so there's Need for Speed Payback, and that's its own thing. And it's Need for Speed. Like, it's fine. It's a car game, which I have no problems
I've
with.
always loved cars.
And there's also going to be a Fast and Furious game made by the Need for Speed people, which is a completely separate thing, I guess, in that universe.
Exactly.
But if you need to play a little Dominic whatever, I wanted to... Wow, I completely blanked on Vin Diesel's name. If you needed a little more Vin Diesel before that came out, you could always play Payback.
There you go.
I want to say Ving Rhames.
I'm into racing. I'm into adventure. It looks like it's a bit of both. Could be cool. Next up is an interesting cooperative virtual crime game called A Way Out.
It's interesting how you said bruh, because it's made by the guys that made Brothers, which was...
See that? Because I was going to say that, so...
you're escaping a prison.
It's not just that, though. It's like outside of the prison, too. Like, it's a lot of other stuff.
No, yeah.
So
if it's also cooperative in the way that Brothers wasn't, where that was like a twin stick kind of single player game.
Yeah.
Where in Brothers, you didn't play it, right?
Brothers, you're cooperating with yourself mostly.
Yeah. You had one side of the controller was the younger brother, and one side was the older brother, and like you can only do certain actions like that were small and like little places you can get into with the younger brother, and like stronger things with the older brother, and like the older brother can swim and the little brother couldn't, and then story happens, and there's a really cool resolution at the end where you don't think about it because you're so used to doing one thing one way. And
let's focus on this one, though.
No, I'm saying I'm getting into that. These two characters are probably going to play a lot like that, where one guy can only do certain things and the other guy can only do certain things. Except you're going to be... there's probably a way to play on your own, but this will... when you're cooperating with somebody else, you're going to need to be a lot more vocal.
Yeah. It seems that way. And this looks like it has a bit more thought to it, because there's a lot of situations that can be handled in a lot of different ways from what it looked like.
Yeah.
And that interests me because I like those kinds of games where there's not just a one way to do things.
Yeah, that replayability where you can say, I did it this way, let me do it this way.
Or just general, like, a different way of thinking, and, like, I don't have to do it the way Richard does it. I'll do it my way.
Like all the Zelda shrines.
Exactly. And I would love to play games like that. Like, I love Uncharted because it's adventure and it's cool and interesting, and it's got story, and this kind of looks like that kind of tone, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm interested in that. Next is NBA Live 18. Again, sport. More basketball.
It's a game.
We totally get it. It's totally basketball.
I completely tuned out of all the sports stuff. I'm sorry.
As I was going through it, I was like, okay, more basketball.
LeBron James.
Jordan.
Yeah, I don't think he's in it. Speaking of basketball, Shaq Fu.
Oh, yes. That wasn't announced at E3, but it's
coming out soon.
Next thing I noted was Star Wars Battlefront 2, November 17th.
Which is really soon.
5 months from now?
4 months.
4 months? 4 months.
4?
Wow.
No, 5, you're right.
Yeah. I feel like I can do math. So single player campaign from the Empire's perspective.
So this whole thing, if you don't know, takes place from the perspective of a female leader of a squadron who basically from whatchamacallit, Yavin, from Yavin, sees the Death Star second one blow up and is like, I need to get revenge on Luke Skywalker. And it's a whole thing about like tracking him down. And it's painting the Empire in a positive light, or a light of these are real people doing real jobs kind of thing, which I've always liked. Not necessarily humanizing the wrong side, but like the Empire like kind of really had their shit together.
The last thing I really needed was to see the people who are wrong painted in a very kind light.
No. This is different. The Empire, like, yes, they have like ill-gotten gains or whatever, but like think of all those people that were working for the Empire that built a Death Star 2, which was incomplete, by the way. Like, there were like thousands of independent contractors that lost their lives doing a job that they were paid to do.
Okay, sure. Fair.
Like, there's a lot of infrastructure
I don't know if I care enough about, I guess, the Star Wars universe to, I don't know, play a character of that mindset. I don't know.
It's just going to be more shitty.
You can play as Darth
things.
Maul, you can play as Rey, you can play as Kylo Ren, you can completely fucking destroy everywhere you're playing.
They're adding in the battle droids, so it's going to be a lot like the first Battlefront that came out on the PlayStation, which is one of my all-time favorite like games to like chill. It's really good.
So, I mean, speaking of, when I was trying to look up Battlefront 2, I couldn't find the old one. I could only find stuff about the new one, and it was getting increasingly frustrating.
I prefer the
because I wanted to see what kind of differences there were between them, and I was like, fucking, where is it?
Kind of like just bigger expansions. They added playable Jedi and stuff. Basically the stuff that the new Battlefront 1 did, except just cleaner, I think. But the bigger thing about this is
more things to do. Yeah.
If you buy Battlefront 2 in the first 6 months of the game launching, you will get all of the DLC for free.
Whoa, what?
All of the future DLC is going to be free if you buy Battlefront 2 in the first 6 months.
That actually makes sense. That's a good way to do it.
It really is, especially since it's EA and they are money hungry.
Oh, no kidding. I think that actually does it for EA.
Yep, EA. I think that was everything. Well, there was something they showed off on the Microsoft list, but I'll talk about that when we get into it.
Yeah, that's actually next on my thing here. And actually, EA's presentation was pretty good. It was concise. They showed a lot of pretty cool stuff. But I think for me, Microsoft is actually a much more interesting and dynamic presentation. So I'm going to start it off today with they started showing off the Scorpio, or the Xbox One X,
which is just Xbox.
Yeah, I know.
It's bad.
It's a very big. It's a hefty
6
strong boy.
6 is better than 4.
Exactly. So,
and this is classified as a premium console.
Yeah, it's the best of the best ever.
I mean,
and there will never be a better console ever again. It's never gonna happen.
No, my problem with this kind of stuff specifically is the developers are the ones that are going to have to make the games that can get maximized by this stuff, and whether it's just a texture pack that gets loaded in because it can read it different or something, or recognizes whichever one that is. It's just the developer has to make the things for it, and they have to make a slightly downgraded one for the regular ones. But like, if you want that high graphical fidelity and like to play in 4K or whatever, you're not going to see it on a regular television. The TV I have in my basement is, I don't know how many inches. I think it's like 44, 45, 46, whatever it is. It's small, relatively, compared to what you... Yeah, it's not 4K. And you can only see the difference on 4K if the screen is above like 50 inches. And I mean, unless you're like 2 feet away from it and you can see the pixel density, but even then it's not going to be that great a difference. It's not worth it to see that. And a lot of developers, I mean, they care because it's a number and bigger numbers are better, but it doesn't matter.
No, in the end, it's you're sacrificing money for something that you're just gonna, I don't know, you're going to be looking at it, but you're not really going to be noticing the differences.
You're going to have to make massive sizes on file size and everything for textures that people are going to see for all of 2 seconds as they run by it.
Exactly. Like, that's the other thing about, like, this whole obsession with the best graphics that I have a real strong issue with. Like,
I just want a really good frame rate.
Even I'm not actually crazy about that.
Like, if everything runs on a solid 30 or a solid 60, that's fine. If it plays well and runs well, that is A-okay with me. I don't need it to look pretty.
I'm actually, like, I'm not even a stickler for running well or like a consistent frame rate, you know?
Says
like,
the Nintendo guy.
What do you mean?
A couple of their games recently had frame rate problems.
And I don't give a shit.
No, you don't. That's
still
true.
Fun
because they're still good.
It didn't make it any. It didn't make it any less fun for me.
I mean, you're one of those people that really don't care, and I mean, since I play a lot of fighting games or a lot of competitive things or online things.
See, that's where it matters, because you got to be precise and like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't play a lot of games where precision is necessary, unless we're talking about Paper Mario.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about that later.
All right. So next up, we've discussed the Scorpio. So let's move on to Forza Motorsport 7.
I believe the note you wrote was Car Fast Go.
Yeah, I did write that in my notes here. They brought a Porsche on this stage. So
how did I miss that?
Yeah, that was something.
Actually, I was working. I had to watch all these in post.
Yeah, I mean, as cool as cars are, I'm not really crazy about like the Forza, the F1 stuff.
Sorry. One more note about the Xbox One X. It comes out on November 7th, which is this year. It
is this year. It's actually that's one thing that stood out to me that I was like, wow, they did not leave a lot of time.
Wow, they did it.
But that's fine. And as far as Forza goes, I'm not that interested. I don't really care about F1 type racing.
Yeah, no. Forza, I mean, like, I don't care for the Forza Motorsports, but like the Horizons, where you get that big kind of drivey open world that you get out of like like some of the older Need for Speeds, or like a couple other things. Like I like that chill driving experience compared to like that racy driving experience.
I'm much of the same way. Like when I played GTA 5, like I would just drive and have a good time.
I mean, the physics are way better
as we already know.
Yeah. The physics are way better than in 4, so it was perfect there.
Yeah. Anyway, next up, we've got Metro Exodus.
Ooh!
Please, Richard, discuss it.
Oh my god. So I'm a really big fan of Metro as it is.
Right. Wait, that's the Metro 2033?
2033?
Yeah.
The whole Metro series is based off of these books by... I'm Googling it right now. They're made by Deep Silver, and the games are based off of the books by Dmitry Glukovsky. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. And they're all
Russian.
kind of like big survival things that have this extra thing. Like they really appeal to me because it's kind of more an extreme game in a way.
It's a violent what it is.
It's yes, it is. But like, there's like regular like gaming, like you have your HUD and you have your stuff. These kind of like did away with that with this one difficulty called Ranger mode, and like you can only carry like 2 weapons instead of the 3 or whatever, and like the HUD is completely gone. The only way you know your ammo or your damage or anything is by keeping count of your bullets, keeping count of your med kits, and doing like all this internal stuff and doing constant checks and stuff. It's really cool, actually.
That's actually, I did not know that about it.
It's really awesome. And Metro 2033 and its sequel Last Light, both were awesome. I really enjoyed them. And this one is open world.
Really?
Which is weird because in the first 2 games, there was nuclear winter. Like fallout all over, incredible radiation all over the Russia surface, and you had to survive in the Metro system where only people were in order to like really live the rest of your life. And in this one, it's open world. It's open in regular world that's all destroyed and stuff, and you get like attacked by the Nozalises and the things, and it I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'm a little afraid of the direction that it's taking because I'm going to get lost in it, like every other open world game. But as long as it has a decent linear path and is the writing and the gameplay and everything is just as good, and I get that Ranger mode, I'll be totally down for it.
Isn't, I don't know, I feel like getting lost is always a good thing.
Oh, I mean, in games like that it is. Yeah.
We should play getting lost in a game is sometimes like a more beneficial experience.
Oh, absolutely. Just I don't want to stray too far away from the critical path. Like,
yeah, I mean, to me, when I was first watching the trailer, it nothing really stood out to me like that. This is amazing. This is something fresh.
It doesn't need to be open world. It absolutely doesn't. It doesn't exactly help it, or hurt it, like, to be open world. But the fact that it is, I think, is just a gimmick, and I don't know how far I'm going to venture out, but I'm totally interested because I love this series.
Yeah, and I mean, from what I could tell, it's almost like changing its own game, or like it's two different things at once.
I don't think so. I mean, it still looked like it would have played the same, where you're gonna have to count your shots and be aware of, like, your own survival. Like,
yeah, I'm only saying that because, like, in the sense of, like, for like 5 minutes there's nothing happening, and then, like, all of a sudden you turn around and you see things running away.
That's gonna be the tech demo. Beast. Like, they need to go and show, like, they're gonna need to show, like, oh, look these environments, it's kind of open world, we're gonna wander and do this thing, and look, no solace. Like, you're gonna
I'm just hoping that it'll have that kind of feel, because, like, I prefer games where it's not just constant energy.
Yeah, it should be relatively chill. There were a lot of chill sections in the Metro games before. Like, there was a level or two in each one that you just kind of walk through a tunnel and talk to a guy.
Yeah, I mean, based on your reaction to the points here, like, I do want to play it with you, and I want to check it out. But it's not something I'm going to play on my own,
But you'd like to see it there.
Yeah, I'd like to see it in action.
My one gripe about it is, since it's a kind of a survival horror, manage your inventory, do that kind of stuff, I don't know how well that's going to translate to open world, which is why I don't think I'm going to stray too far from the critical path.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely understand.
Like, I mean, it's less, you have to manage your gas mask filters to stay out in the air, because you can stay out in the air forever. It's more, watch your bullets because your knife sucks.
Yeah.
So that's where that's going to be.
Okay. I mean, moving on.
It's been a long time and a good game.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully good.
Something I'm actually looking forward to seeing more of is Assassin's Creed Origins.
Really?
Seeing the trailer for that, I was really interested, because
I'm very surprised.
I know, it's the only Assassin's Creed game I've ever wanted to look into playing.
Really?
Yeah. It had this more, like, fantastical, like, it's completely unfamiliar to me. Like,
it does. You do kind of have superpowers in this one,
which looks different, and like a leveling up system or something.
Yeah, like skill trees are skill trees.
I have to go with the more RPG-esque kind of interface,
I mean, that's going to be how it is, but I'm not interested as much as you are. I mean, if it ends up reviewing well, I'd consider it, but, like, I've been burned on this series before.
Yeah, that's the only thing is, like, I've played the first Assassin's Creed game, and that did nothing for me, but for some reason this one immediately got me. I don't know.
Do you just like Egypt?
I might just like Egypt.
The setting really does have a big thing, because, like, for the first Assassin's Creed, you were in the Middle East, right? I think, and then in the second one, you were all over Italy, like annoyingly all over Italy. And in the third one, you were in the States, the colonies, and in the fourth one, you were on the sea, which was really cool and different, and everybody loved that kind of thing.
Yeah, like all kinds of different crazy shit.
They're actually doing another completely different thing. We'll talk about that one later too.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Then
well, I mean,
there was
I like
nothing.
I like the ideas that they had for the Chronicles, like the Assassin's Creed, like China, and
I played one of those for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you did. That was interesting, but I wish they had done those in a more fleshed out manner, like this one is, like it's an actual mainline game.
Those were kind of side stories of characters that, like, you were in comic books, or you had seen, like, in, like, not flashbacks, or barely interacted with. Like, those were all characters that were, like, they had lore in alternate forms of media, but never got their own thing.
Well, they should have.
Whatever.
All right, next up, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I don't know why I put this down. They mentioned
it's coming before the end of 2017.
Well,
I think it's going to have crossplay, which is going to be fine. It's kind of the Hunger Games. It's kind of a couple other things.
I'd be interested in playing with you, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, it's better if you have friends.
I don't think I'd play for more than 2 hours.
It's better if you have friends and like a team to go play with. I've seen a couple streams of people playing this, and it's but like the tension that you could share with somebody else makes it a little worth it.
That's the only reason I'd play it, is to like experience it with someone else. I would not go online playing on my own.
No, I don't think you can.
All right, so next up is Deep Rock Galactic. I put a note on the side, dwarves to the extreme.
I saw the trailer for this, like the thumbnail, and I thought, weird angular gun? Is this going to be Borderlands 3 with a different name? Because like Gearbox was like, oh, we might not even be named Borderlands, and I was like, weird gun, and I was disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I sped through the trailer and I took a moment to look at the last like little shot there with the 3 guys, and I was like, this looks really fucking stupid.
I don't know, I guess it's kind of an indie game. I don't know.
It just,
I don't
there's
know.
nothing to it. It just looked like a nothing game.
I don't really care, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Next up.
Well, I'm glad we agree, because next up we have State of Decay 2.
Which is more with friends.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm seeing a lot of zombie games again this year.
It's trying to make a comeback.
What do you mean a comeback? When has it not been happening?
like okay, so you had like Call of Duty zombies and you had like Left 4 Dead 2, and for a little while zombies were really big. And then like around the time State of Decay 1 came out, people got really bored with the idea of zombies, and games kept coming out and they didn't sell well.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I'm bored.
This one looks
with zombies.
This one looks different in the kind of survival, like form a community, like a commune type thing.
It's more of the first one, and you didn't play the first one, right?
I never even saw the first one.
Okay, it's on the Xbox 360.
Okay.
It kind of takes the one of the vibes from like Dead Rising, where you gotta find survivors and like help them out and like build your towns or settlements or whatever the hell you want to call them. And it's like there's an overarching story, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not big on.
I don't see myself passing time with it.
Yeah.
I don't see myself picking it up and having a good time.
There's also a note from Metro. If there is like a food and health and like drinking and whatever like management system, I'm gonna be turned off. I hate like inventory management. Fine. When it comes to status, like, oh, I gotta drink every 30 minutes of I hate it. I don't like it.
You might hate life.
Okay, that's different, but if I'm relaxing and playing a video game, I don't want to say, I've got to carry all of these liquids on me so that I can do that. Oh, look, my inventory is full because I'm carrying a lot of water and
I'm
steak.
already worrying about my actual self. Why do I have to worry about my virtual self?
Like, it's just, I'm really bored with that kind of stuff. I don't like
agree.
It's kind of management.
It's kind of hackneyed and, like, not interesting. It adds, like more of nothing, you know?
Like, to go, say, a mile in the game, you need a steak and 2 things of water. To go 2 miles, you're going to need that steak and water, and then double it, and then to come back, you're going to need it again. Like,
that's just annoying.
It's all just, I don't like that kind of stuff. Just, if that's what it's going to be, which the first one was kind of like that, just whatever. It's not my cup of tea.
We'll have to look into it some more.
Plus, I'm really bored with that kind of stuff.
I always give stuff a chance, so, I mean...
If it's gonna be like We Happy Few, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna check out more about it when there's more revealed, but for now,
these are all just preliminary like thoughts on these. By the way, like
next up, I wrote Jethro Tull shouting at the Darwin Project. So the guy that was announcing at the side during the match that was happening, his name was Jethro Tull.
I didn't notice that.
His actual human name was Jethro Tull. I'm not going to say anything else about this game. I just want to mention that.
So this is, again, which is whatever, going to be like a full-scale PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Except instead of team-based things, you're going to do one-on-one character building. I think there might be like classes.
It's not one-on-one though. It's just every man for himself.
It's going to be free-for-all, rather.
Yeah.
Where I think there's an option to do that. I haven't played PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But it's going to be all these cartoony characters fighting each other and doing all these things.
Yeah.
It's not my cup of tea. I like team-based things from doing stuff like that.
Kind of.
It is. I like team-based experiences like that.
It looks like Overwatch to me.
No, not really. It's just cartoony. Like, you can compare Overwatch to anything now and say... Because, Overwatch didn't make cartoons.
I'm saying in its style, it's stylized. Kind of like Overwatch.
I guess so. In a way. It's kind of just...
I don't even like Overwatch, so I'm not interested.
Yeah, I know. But it's just... This isn't my thing either, because I like cooperative things instead of, like, competitive things. Like, not online. You know what I mean? Like, if it's team-based, I'm down. If it's one person fighting a bunch of other people, not so much.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
I'm, not too crazy about this one. Next, we have... Minecraft. Let's talk a bit more about Minecraft.
I've already stated how I feel about Minecraft when we were talking about State of Decay 2.
Yeah. Moving on.
I don't care. If they're not expanding it and building on it, I don't care.
They're doing like a you can play it cross-platform thing. I think. I don't know. Whatever. Not interested.
Let's go.
Dragon Ball Z Fight or Dragon Ball Fight Z.
Okay. Can I shamefully say this looks like the best fighting game of 2017?
Completely fucking agree.
We're gonna talk about Marvel Infinite later, but
we are.
This is tight. This is solid looking. Like it looks how I'd want Dragon Ball Z to fight again.
I was gonna say that.
I really like the regular Budokai series 1, 2, and 3, and this looks like it's harkening back to that. Like I want a 2.5D fighter and not fucking 3D arena battler, and I think this is better.
And I have to mention that a lot of 3D fighting games or just any kind of games based on cartoons or shows that try to use that that rendered style where it looks the cell shading style, it doesn't end up looking anything like what it should, you know?
The Dragon Ball Z series has been doing that for literally all of their games this whole time.
I know, but that's what I was gonna say is this one looks impeccable.
For some reason it nails it. I don't it just happens to be the way the shading is, the lighting, how the textures work with it. It's just, it looks good. I mean,
it's not even lit. That's the other thing.
It's not lit.
There's no actual shading, I guess. It's just all sides are the same. Anyway, we're gonna play it together.
I think it'd be funny. I like it way more than I do Xenoverse.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll probably pick it up. All right, next one.
We should definitely play it together. Black Desert, best MMORPG.
I don't care. I don't care.
It doesn't look like anything.
I've never been an MMO guy. This is apparently a fantastic MMO. I don't give half of a shit.
You can play as anime characters, I guess. That's it.
That's
you
true,
look like
but
an anime.
if you want the proper Black Desert experience, all you do is watch the first episode of Monster Factory and watch Griffin and Justin McElroy make that goddamn character look like a real Bart Simpson. That's all you need.
And you were going to mention it at some point.
It's the only time I'm going to mention them, but I care so little for Black Desert.
Yeah.
That's the most excitement that I've gotten out of that entire game as an idea.
I mean, it's there's just nothing new. It's just
it's MMOs.
Yeah. I don't know why they keep making them. Next.
Destiny 2.
The game that is garbage, The Last Night.
You mean by Tim Sorrett?
I guess.
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's his name. This is
that trash man.
Stylized, like, Christian, we were talking to your dad, like, the last time I was over, like, literally, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago, or whatever it was, about how cool Blade Runner is.
Fuck, man.
I love Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And, like, to see the aesthetics of it and make a game that's, what if progressivism never existed, that's the plot of it. And then on top of that, the guy who created it, his name is Tim Sorrett once again, is a huge gamer-gator and, like, just hates, like, what, I don't remember what he said he's an egalitarian.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like feminism, I just want everybody to be equal.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to get political about it, but it's just, it's such a... It also takes such a, like, blatant cloud in the sky overhanging it, you know?
But, like,
it's just,
the description that he's given on it as well is based off of that too.
I know.
What if the future
so
is
bad.
not progressive and people can be racist? Is basically what he said. This is a world where progressivism spiraled out of control.
I know. It's just, I don't.
He let his own personal political agenda hit the Blade Runner aesthetics and made a gorgeous looking pixel game that's going to be thematically kind of garbage.
I really wanted to like it, but I can't now because of that.
It's so weird talking about, like, games and politics, because, like, you can completely be political in games, but when your entire agenda is part of making a game turns into the plot, is gross. Well, and, like, I mean, you really want to pick this up.
I don't want to be fucking annoying and be devil's advocate, but you could say that about Wolfenstein, but it's just...
But that's not within the last couple of years. Their focus was, hey, in a couple of years, people are going to see Nazis are coming back. No, the Wolfenstein series has always been about killing Nazis.
Yeah.
With a lot of good... Well, I'll talk about this when we actually talk about Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
But
I don't get why it needs to be
as it
like
is.
This, yeah. Like, look, why this style has to go with this trash.
Let's see if they make any big changes. Let's see, and I think they said the majority of this is coming out this year, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if the reviews are in. Let's see how far it gets with that kind of stuff. And I'll think about picking it up.
I might just torrent it.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty good.
You know?
Yeah, hit the next one.
All right, next up we have The Artful Escape. I caught the title of this game as it flashed by me while I sped through the trailers. So all I wrote was a bardic trance because he had a guitar.
It's very aesthetically gorgeous. Mm-hmm. It's a platformer that uses, I guess, music. We didn't get a lot of gameplay or anything out of it.
It was more showing off, like, the style than anything.
Yeah. Like, stylistically, it's really cool looking. I don't think there's a lot there.
That
happens with a lot of platformers, right? Like, Inside technically
didn't
have a lot there. It was running and jumping. Unravel is kind of the same. Like, it had just mechanics.
Some games have more to do with, like, what you're seeing rather than what you're
which is what
this
is gonna be.
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna wait so I can learn more about it. I've always loved Limbo and I love Inside, so
and the fact that it's called The Artful Escape is telling of probably whatever's gonna happen in the plot.
Exactly.
But also, it's for you to enjoy some gorgeous art.
And I love doing that, so I'm gonna check it out. I'm definitely going to. I don't. Do you want to look into it? Like,
I mean, I don't really have much of an interest, but if you're down, we'll play it on the show.
Because I mean, Inside turned out to be like a real experience for us.
We'll see when we get gameplay or like anything like big on this. Like if we get like 20 minutes of gameplay like in the next couple days, I'll really consider it. If it's more than just run jump music, if it's more than just run jump music, could be cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna stay on top of this so that we can learn more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, Sea of Thieves.
Can I talk about him one more time?
Yeah.
Griffin McElroy ate a banana like in the game, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Another person on Tumblr did as well, and I was like, it made me think. This is a little off topic. It made me think, why when Griffin does something first, everybody else has to?
Yeah.
Because he licked the. I think he licked the first cartridge for the Switch, and then everybody else did.
Yeah.
I mean, that might not be true. I am completely wrong, but he totally
he does
did
like to put things in his mouth.
I don't want to talk about that. This is a game I don't look. Okay, I like that it's cooperative. I like the idea of it, and I don't know how I feel.
I mean, from what I could tell, like there was a scene where two people were carrying a chest, and then they were also being attacked by something. And so one of the other guys was like defending them while they brought this chest full of treasure back to the ship.
So
that seemed interesting, but I don't know if there's like a lot of like
the way the goal works is by the end of the round you have more shit than the other team.
Right.
Like you loot other people's stuff. You could probably go and attack each other directly and steal their stuff and like sink them or whatever. But it's that kind of plunder that you're kind of talking about there, where you get more shit, and that's how good you do. Which is, I mean, it's fine, like collecting a thing and doing that over and over and over. It might be really cool with a team, like kind of with the same idea with
dynamic.
Battlegrounds.
It just doesn't seem dynamic to me. It doesn't seem interesting and like.
A lot of people are liking it though. Like they're playing it and they're like, yeah, I really like the function of it. I think I guess they're playing at 83.
Yeah.
People are liking the idea, and I don't know. It might be one of those experiences where you're like, meh, I don't know. But then once you get your hands on it, like ARMS, you really like it.
So maybe like, and again, it could be that, or it could be one of those things where you. Play it on your own, it's nothing, but if you play it with more people, it turns into something incredible. It turns into something
great,
Yeah. And I love that kind of stuff. Like, I love playing Starbound with more people. I love playing a number of games with other people. Like, some games need to be played with more people. This looks like it might be one of them. If so, okay, that's fine. I still probably won't play it.
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of checks out for me.
Yeah, there's just nothing that interesting about it.
Besides pirates.
I mean...
And we already get another better pirate game, apparently, this year.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Yeah, go forward. Next one.
Tacoma, I, again, just caught the title of this one as it flew by.
It looks pretty.
That's about it.
Yeah,
that's all I can really say.
Image of it right now, just to like look at it again.
I'm gonna put one up on the screen at this point.
Okay, it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Very.
It seems moody.
It comes out in August, by the way, which is really soon.
Oh wow.
But it seems very less BioShock, less survival, more. It's stylistic puzzle solving kind of.
It seems just scenic and thoughtful, which is fine, but it doesn't seem thoughtful in the way that I like.
There are games that are kind of like that already.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't stick out to me. That's the only thing.
Did you catch if there was multiplayer or anything?
It was single player, I think. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
I'm moving on because there's really nothing more to this because it was very short.
Yeah, there's not really anything that we want. Oh, this is by the people who made Gone Home, by the way.
Oh.
So that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Okay. Interesting.
You played Gone Home, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're exploring an abandoned space station. I pulled up the Polygon page. Using an AI partner and an augmented reality system, you uncover video and audio recordings and play things out to find out, I guess, how to escape or get home. Which that makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
Actually.
exploration,
like putting it in that context that it's made by the people who made Gone Home. I totally see that. Still not exactly my thing, but I could totally see why people would play it.
I could see Let's Plays happening all across YouTube.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
A bunch of spoilers of really cool twists. I don't know.
Yeah, but now that I've said that, it clicks, right? It makes sense.
Yeah, I see the appeal. It won't appeal to me though. That's the only thing.
I mean, did you like Gone Home?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did not.
All right, next up.
Super Lucky's Tale. Fuck, dude.
One of 2 Foxboy games that were talked about this year.
Dude, I'm crazy about this game. I was watching footage of it. It looks so cute and fun. It looks genuinely fun.
Sure.
I like these kinds of games. I like platformers.
Yeah, I know you do. I think the first thing that came to my mind was they're pandering real hard.
What do you mean?
Like, this is there's another one I think somewhere down here. I don't remember who did it or where it is, but this is one of 2 Fox-based player games that were talked about this year. I think it's another one in maybe an indie game, but I just for whatever reason in my head just thought furry pandering.
Oh. I mean,
like, it's just like looking at the gameplay, it's a collectathon. It's just more Banjo-Kazooie or
it's a platformer.
I don't know if you zoomed through this. I watched this one. There's a billion coins all over the place.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's just a platformer.
I think it's going to be a collectathon.
It didn't look that way to me.
We'll see when it comes out. Like, keep a tab on this.
I saw game footage, so
okay. Like, keep an eye on this one. If you're interested, we'll play a bit. We'll see what's happening.
I like you games. Anyway, I wrote this one wrong. This should say Cuphead.
Cuphead. It has a release date finally.
Fucking finally, and we're
it has
still
a release
gonna play
date
it.
of September 29th.
The trailer and release date did not change my opinion of it. I still really want to play this fucking
I was gonna say,
game.
ooh. God, okay. So there's a couple, like, this was not necessarily the first kind of Boss Rush game, but this, I think, brought that idea into the forefront again. Mm-hmm. Because there was a couple games that came out, like, I can't remember, it was made by the same team that made Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah.
There's a game like that. And then Fury came out last year,
Yep.
which was another Boss Rush kind of game, where Cuphead has more than just that. There's other, like, platforming levels and stuff. But I think this, like, said to people, and it took so long to come out, that, hey, Boss Rush game is in, and people said, I love that idea, and made more games. I think there's going to be, I think it set off a precedent, and it's going to keep it going.
I feel like it's going to, like, even throw those other games, like, in the trash.
We'll see. I did play it
so cool.
I did play it at X16, and it's fucking hard. Like, but even with
fun,
2 people,
right?
it was fun, like, for the 20 minutes I played, but it's really hard.
Okay, well, I'm glad it's hard because that'll keep me wanting to play.
I mean, I think a lot of people are going to get turned off by it.
I don't really care whether other people get turned down because
that's fair.
I
want to support it
into it
because I really like the art style, and I think the developers worked so hard on this and for so long, and they deserve it. Yeah. I don't know if I'm personally going to be able to finish it. Because I have a bunch of other games on here that I want.
Well, we're going to play anyway.
That's fair. How far are we going to get?
We're going to beat it, dude.
Third base. Let's go.
All right, next up is Crackdown.
Crackdown!
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews is Captain, I forget his name. Captain Jackson?
I don't know. He's
Action
fucking
Jackson.
Terry Crews, and it was awesome, and I love him.
It was, what a good, it captures completely the feel of what I thought when I saw the first Crackdown game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it kind of, to me, looked a little messy. Like, I mean, I don't like those kinds of games at all.
It's open world, collect orbs to get better.
Yeah.
It's not like Grand Theft Auto where in San Andreas you ran to get faster or something.
Yeah.
This is you collect 20 orbs or whatever, and you get a level up point in that stat, and you can move faster. It's a big, jumpy superhero game where like every rooftop has a collectible.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that kind of stuff. Like, it doesn't do anything for me, but I can see the appeal. And this one looks like it's, I don't know, improving on the last few. I looked into it.
I'm interested. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, but I'll watch gameplay. I'll see. And it comes out on the same day that the Scorpio does, November 7th. Wow. It's a launch title for the Xbox One X.
Speaking of the Scorpio, do you think you might pick one up?
No.
No?
I don't have the $500 to have a machine that I already own.
Right.
Also, this is going to confuse a lot of people and a lot of moms when it comes to Christmas this year.
Oh,
I want the Xbox One X. The S? The X. I got you the S.
Oh my god.
You didn't even think of that, did you?
You're right.
It's funny.
That is funny. All right, so I put down like that there's a ton of indies and third-party stuff coming out on the Xbox.
Which is, it's like weird also PC kind of things that are cross-play probably.
Yeah, I
think this is where the other Fox game was.
None of them really look that interesting to me, but, you know...
It's going to be what it's going to be.
We might see more about them. They might
if any are interesting, we'll probably play them.
Exactly. Like, if one of them looks interesting, we'll probably be seeing more of it online. So
yeah.
Right now, I don't give a shit. Next is a game called Ashen. It looked like this
Souls-like
fantasy kind of inside styled game.
It's from everything I could tell, it's a Souls-like. Where there's rolling, there's like things. I don't know what weapon customization or anything is going to be, but it looks like kind of a 2-player, maybe online only, or I don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Dark Souls kind of game where you go in dungeons and go and make your light happen. I don't remember exactly the trailer's lines.
It looked really weird and moody.
Which it has an aesthetic.
I could... If like the game turns out to have interesting things in it, then I'll definitely consider playing it with you. But it didn't stand out to me. It was another just whatever game.
It didn't look like anything super special to me either.
Yeah, I mean, it had a style that's great. It wasn't a style that really stuck out.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying that about Microsoft is that like a lot of these games don't stick out. Next up, Life is Strange.
I would rather play the other game that they're working on right now.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about this. It's a sequel.
Do you know what the other game is that they're working on?
No, I don't.
It's called Vampire.
Oh, wow.
You play as a doctor who's like one of the top doctors in Britain. In 1918, and you get bit by a vampire. There's gameplay out for it like right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to that later. It looks amazing.
That's way more interesting than this fucking piece of shit.
And it's an action RPG and not a story-based thing like that.
Good.
So Life is Strange. I mean, I didn't care. I bought it because I figured Kendra would like it, but she I don't think even touched it.
Okay. Yeah. It's and there's a lot of those like it's just a story you can watch and it's like
it's like a Telltale game.
Yeah. I'm not interested. I used to like Telltale because I didn't play games. Now I play games and I need something that's actually engaging.
Yeah. And who cares about Amber?
Yeah, fucking, I don't give a shit.
Her name is Rachel Amber. Amber's the porn star in Menage a 3.
I'm gonna watch that.
It's not. It's a web comic. Next one.
Shadow of War.
We already saw a bunch of gameplay when it was talked about back in March.
Yeah.
It's getting a release on. I'm gonna Google this real quick.
It's another one of those like you're wearing such huge armor. Look how powerful you look.
October 10th.
Okay, great.
This is I mean, if you didn't play the first one, it's a Batman Arkham style game.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be a lot of actually kind of like Siege Warfare, where like you kind of do like an RTS thing and control armies and stuff.
Yeah.
which is actually kind of interesting and like makes a difference from the first one. Think of you didn't get that far in it, but it's gonna be kind of like what is it called? You played it with Thomas.
The Jack Black game?
Yeah, the Jack Black game.
Yeah.
I'm totally blanking on the title for that.
I don't know. It just, from what I was watching, they were showing a lot of it, and nothing about it was cool. Like, it just looked really fucking lame.
It's Brutal Legend, by the way. It's kind of like the Batman games. For the people who already are interested in the Batman games, or like the Assassin's Creed games, for the people who are already interested in that, they're going to try to get an audience from it, but it's going to be more for those people who really like Lord of the Rings that much to play a game in that universe. But it's a Batman game.
I don't know.
It's got dodge.
It just
punch.
looked like, when I was watching it, I was like, cool fucking normal ass fucking fantasy game. Way to make it interesting and engaging.
They made somehow Lord of the Rings more boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I like Lord of the Rings, but it's kind of a slog. It's a little dull.
Like, that looked really fucking obnoxiously disinteresting.
It's a thing, and it has its audience, and those people are going to buy the game.
I guess.
And I'm not.
Yeah.
I bought the first one when it was like $20 with the DLC, and I never finished it.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Play Zelda for a better experience.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Did you play?
So I have the first one.
Yeah. Have you played it?
I played some of it.
Okay. And
I like the concept a lot. The art style is really cute.
Okay.
But for some reason, like, it's a Metroidvania, so this is totally in my wheelhouse. For some reason, I didn't really get that into it. I played for like 2-3 hours, 4 hours, but like at a point I was at this section, like I didn't have a lot of health or whatever. Like, you can make your own checkpoint. It's really like engaging. Like the whole systems of it all is really good. But
yeah.
I played for a couple hours and I put it down and I didn't pick it back up again, which is weird because how big am I into Metroidvanias?
Very.
They're like my favorite thing.
So
and
what was it about this one that didn't do it then?
It's a sequel to a game that I wasn't big about.
Okay. All right. I mean, I have nothing to say because
says it there.
Yeah,
like if again, this is all like preliminary. Like, if it gets good reviews, I might pick the first one up again. My opinion might change, and I might pick this one up too. It all depends on really how I'm feeling in like next couple months.
I'd like to try the first one to see if because
you might like it.
This one, I mean, I probably will because I love side-scrolling like action games. This one has like a tinge of like that kind of like almost melancholic feeling.
The first one's a lot like that too.
Yeah, so I mean, I like that mood in my media, so I'll probably enjoy it. Probably, I don't know. It's worth checking out for me.
You should pick another game. It's like I forget what it's called. It's like you play as a bug.
What?
You play as this little bug man.
You must be talking about the Bugs Life game that came out on the Nintendo 64.
No. Bug Metroidvania. I'm gonna get it. It's called Hollow Knight.
Okay.
I got it immediately.
What?
It's that one got really good reviews. It's kind of like Dark Souls and Metroidvania together. It's really interesting actually.
I like this game.
The art style is very good for it.
I did look into it and I don't really.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the art style.
Yeah, Ori is kind of like that.
Okay.
But a little different.
Okay, well, I'll look into it.
Take a look into it, yeah.
I'm going to play Ori and the Blind Forest when I go over to your house.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next is the last,
I think.
The last item on, finally, on Microsoft's list is Anthem.
Which,
BioWare is working on Anthem, which
the most interesting thing that EA talked about and like didn't show anything until Microsoft's thing.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing more about it only because it looks fucking interesting.
I think it takes it in the multiplayer drop-in, drop-out Destiny MMO this is just getting long. Kind of style, like the Destiny formula, and like turbocharging it. I think this is really interesting. Plus, open world and jetpacks.
I'm down.
Like you watched some of it.
Yeah.
You basically Iron Man fly through the environment.
Yeah, and that's fucking cool to me.
Like everything, it's so big. Like if you walked it, it would take you forever. But the flying, like it'd still take you a while. But it feels like you actually have a sense of movement. And like at one point they like dive into like this water.
Yeah.
And like there's a whole like ecosystem underneath there.
Like
and
just
like
this dynamic world.
It feels dynamic, or at least looks really dynamic, and a lot of people are liking what they're playing of it so far because apparently it is gameplay too.
Awesome.
Which is it looks nice. The customization is really cool.
So we're seeing where all of BioWare's efforts were put in.
Yeah, this is codenamed Dylan, and like it's unfortunate that Mass Effect Andromeda couldn't have had this much polish, but I mean that's how games are.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, this would be the reason to buy the Xbox One X.
Really?
Like, if I was gonna buy an Xbox One X, it'd be to be an Xbox One fucking Anthem machine, you know, like a $500 Anthem machine.
Honestly, I still don't think it's worth it. You could just buy the S at this point, since it's, I think, $300.
Yeah, I don't know. It's for me. This would be the reason. Is what I'm saying. Like, if I had a TV powerful enough, if I had the money, it'd be for this game.
Well, if it gets close to it and you decide to still pick it up and buy an Xbox and do all that stuff, I will too, and we'll play it together.
Absolutely.
And I think it might have also have crossplay. Crossplay is really kind of important because it allows Xbox and PC people to do together. And if that's true, we can also have Kendra play on the PC and do that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So like the more this is again a game that the more people you have in a squad or a team or whatever it is, the more fun you will have.
And it does look fun. It looks like it actually will be.
The fire effects, the explosions, the feel.
It
I could feel
good.
it just watching the video of like the guns and the shooting and the hits. All felt weighty and nice. And like just looking at it.
The only one qualm I have, and it's nothing, is just the design of the like power suit thing. Like it's just too too sci-fi-y.
It's said it's customizable, and it's gonna be sci-fi. That's the whole thing.
Okay.
So you can make it look different, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's got the level up system that you like too.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this would be the reason for me to get the Xbox One, like any of them. But you know, it's debatable.
We'll think about it.
I'll think about it. I want to see more. Do you want to do this in 3 parts where we discuss 2 things each?
Sure. Yeah. Let's end this one and let's get into the next one a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna end part 1 here.
I think that was day 1, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was day 1.
This is part 1 of E3.
Yes. Of at least our discussion.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we're going to bring this video to a close. Thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for our second part.
And we'll see you later.
Yes, we will.
Bye.
Bye.